So the Golden State Warriors are NBA champions, and Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports is operating at a championship level. Over the last month, more than 2 million views. We're breaking records all across the board. So at this point, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? You're missing out on the best Warriors coverage out on the entire internet. And I want to challenge all of you right now, like Steve Kerr would challenge Steph Curry to tap into his greatness. We are 146 people away from 42,000 subs. Can we get there by the end of the day on Sunday? How do we do it? Very easy. You hit that red subscribe button down below or head to youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Let's get to 42,000 as soon as possible. You're watching Golden State Warriors Today. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Here's what we're talking about on today's show. Is Andre Iguodala going to come back to the Warriors in NBA free agency? Warriors really leaving the door open for him to come back if he doesn't retire. We'll explore that. James Wiseman Summer League update. One game remaining for the Warriors on Sunday night, and James Wiseman continues to impress while also going through some inexperienced type of mistakes on the basketball floor. And according to Chris Broussard, Kevin Durant wants to return to the Golden State Warriors. I know a lot of you are fatigued talking about KD, but it's one of the biggest storylines in the NBA, and it pertains to your Warriors, so we have to talk about it. But first, we talk about Andre Iguodala, the 2015 NBA Finals MVP. According to Anthony Slater, and I find this to be pretty interesting, Golden State, they have imposed a no firm deadline on an Iguodala retirement or return decision. So basically, they're leaving it up to Iguodala to return to the Warriors, or if he decides to retire, that's fine too. So if Iggy wants to play, the Warriors are going to have a vacant roster spot available for him, and if he decides to retire, they will fulfill that roster spot with most likely one of their draft picks from the 2022 NBA draft. Basically, this organization has so much respect for Iguodala and what he's been able to do that they're basically saying, Iggy, if you want to play and extend your NBA career, we guarantee you that there will be a roster spot available for you. But the Warriors won't push the timeline or the decision because Iguodala at this point, he's such an accomplished basketball player. They don't want to rush him into deciding whether he wants to continue his playing career or call it quits, as he can go in a couple of different directions. A lot of people believe that he could become a future NBA head coach. He's also into a couple business ventures right now. And you look at Iguodala's resume in the Bay. Whether he decides to call it a career, which I think is bound for the NBA and Basketball Hall of Fame, or if he continues to lace up the sneaks and make another run at trying to bring home yet another NBA championship in the Bay. 2 Warriors stints, as we know, 2013 to 2019, after he came over to the Bay from the Denver Nuggets before that really good career with the Philadelphia 76ers. And then this past year, somewhat of a surprise. Some people thought, okay, he's with the Memphis Grizzlies. He didn't play. Is he going to hang it up? He decided to come back, and it worked out well for him because he's now been a part of 4 NBA championship teams with the Warriors. And going back to the NBA Finals back in 2015 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was him, not Steph Curry, winning the Finals MVP. All-Star game, one of the best defenders that we've seen of this generation. One-time first-team All-Defenders, been on the second team a couple of times as well. That's why I believe he's en route to the Basketball Hall of Fame at some point. Here's what's interesting as well. In addition to the Warriors' plans for a roster spot for Iguodala, he admitted last year, not just once, a couple of times, that his body is breaking down and he's starting to get a little bit older. But if he wants to come back, it's not like he's going to have to give this team minutes every single night. What he offers this club and what he offers this organization, great value as a veteran and a guy who can play from time to time, get some minutes, maybe even give you some solid burn throughout the NBA playoffs. But on top of that, and him not really being a consistent performer, which you don't need him to be, he can be a de facto player coach and help Steve Kerr with his coaching staff that has lost a couple of people throughout this offseason. And Iguodala offers great value there, as well as just a veteran leader who in the locker room can help steer these young players in the right direction and let them know how important it is to go about your craft really importantly as a basketball player, but know at the end of the day that your entire life isn't going to revolve around basketball. It's important for you to invest and start some of these business ventures like Iguodala has been able to do. Love the guy, and if he comes back to the Warriors, it'll be fun to see this team run it back. So I said all I have to say about Iguodala. Now it's time for you to join the conversation, because we here at Chat Sports, we love our audience interaction, and we love to hear from Dub Nation. Do you want Iggy back next year? Get into the comment section, let me know. Give me a B for back or an M for move on. From Andre Iguodala, the old bull, to one of the young bucks in James Wiseman, one more Summer League game left to play for the Dubs in Las Vegas as they play on Sunday night. And now James Wiseman, coming off the knee injury, the recovery, the setbacks, he's been able to put forward a couple of really impressive performances in Las Vegas and continues to show flashes of why the Warriors drafted him at number 2 and why so many people within this organization are just heaping lofty praise upon Wiseman and what he can become down the road if he's able to stay healthy. Stats against Oklahoma City on Friday night. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Wiseman test his skills and his game against Chet Holmgren, who rested on Friday night. But either way, Wiseman was pretty good. 14 points, 7 rebounds, yet another block. He's had at least one block in every single game that he's played so far in Vegas. 1 of 1 from 3, as he also continues to display a very comfortable and smooth three-point stroke. Some more Wiseman takeaways that I have. Continues to make some inexperienced mistakes. I'm talking, he tries to block everything around the rim and is a little bit too aggressive. Offensively, he can get lost in moments. And then defensively, he got to get lost in switches as well and just get over-aggressive, which then causes him to kind of overstride on some plays. What I do like, though, the shooting stroke, with the left hand, looks really comfortable. The pull-up 3 that he hit, you notice that people weren't around him. He stepped right into the stroke, was able to knock it down cookies. Athleticism and movement, it has really popped. And this can really add a different dimension to what the Warriors can do defensively and offensively with his versatile game. And the reps, most importantly for Wiseman, have been really beneficial. You can tell he hasn't played a lot of basketball. Keep in mind, back at Memphis, only played a handful of games before those bogus NCAA rules. And then his rookie year, season's cut short, only played about half of the games because of that knee injury. Did not play at all in year 2. And then in the rehabilitation process coming off that knee injury, played a couple of games with the Santa Cruz Warriors before the knee got sore once again. And then the Warriors had to shut him down, and he didn't play in the playoffs or the regular season. So he needs the reps and, of course, needs to stay healthy as well. If you've watched James Wiseman throughout Summer League play, how do you think he's fared? How do you think he's done? Let me know right now in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm giving him a solid B plus, A minus. That's how good Wiseman has been. You know what's been good? Warriors Today. You know what would be even better? If Warriors Today overtook the Lakers report in YouTube subscribers. It's a great battle that we have going down in between the walls here at Chat Sports. And if Warriors Today is able to defeat the Lakers report, some are saying it could be one of the best victories in the history of sports, because a couple of months ago, it seemed like an impossibility that it would never happen. But here you go. You look at the numbers right here. Warriors Today closing in on the Lakers report. Make sure you subscribe to the channel by simply hitting that subscribe button down below. Now, of course, we have to get you caught up on Kevin Durant. According to Brian Windhorst, he said this the other day on the Dan Patrick Show, the Warriors have, quote, discussed trading for KD. And according to Chris Broussard of Fox Sports, KD wants a return to the Warriors. Now, we can get into the conversation about what this would do with KD's legacy, what it would mean for him if he left the Warriors and came back after winning 2 championships with the Warriors, 3 straight NBA Finals, and then he departs thinking that the grass is going to be greener on the other side and he can be the man of a championship team. We know what ended up happening. It was one of the worst business decisions of all time. But KD probably sees that for his basketball future, a return to the Warriors might be the best. Now, of course, this is in the rumor mill. This is being reported on by Chris Broussard, but it's important to talk about nonetheless. Windhorst first saying that the Warriors have discussed this internally. Broussard, KD wants a return. Broussard specifically said that Durant wants to go back to the Warriors and does not want to play with Kyrie Irving. Irving, which is a big factor of those conversations in Brooklyn. And right now, with the NBA Summer League coming to a halt, all of these executives, coaches, players, they've been in Las Vegas over the last couple of weeks. And if a trade doesn't get done soon, is these trade rumors and are these trade discussions going to just grow stagnant and no trade will happen because everybody departs for vacation before NBA training camp gets underway in a couple of months? So the trade market currently at a standstill. As for what Broussard had to say, Golden State can offer Brooklyn a very strong package, better than most teams. For Kevin Durant, a source texted me after KD's trade request and said that KD doesn't want to play with Kyrie and he wants to go to Golden State. It's not an impossibility. And while Broussard might say it's not an impossibility, what we've always said here on the Warriors channel is that I don't think it's likely that Kevin Durant goes back to the Dubs. You have to think about he's thinking of his legacy and what it would mean and what people would say about him. And we know that Kevin Durant's somewhat of a sensitive guy. And then for the Warriors, we've covered this over the last calendar year. They're trying to build for the future while competing for championships right now. And that same mindset, that same direction just worked, and the Warriors won a championship this past year. So it's not an impossibility. I just don't think it's likely that KD comes back to the Bay Area. If he does go back to the Warriors, it's fascinating on so many levels. Obviously, it's the legacy talk with KD. It's him reuniting with the Warriors, where they made it to 3 straight NBA Finals and won 2 championships, and he himself won 2 Finals MVPs. And then is the relationship with Draymond Green good, or is it bad? Because there was that conversation about Draymond, KD beefing, Draymond calling him the B word, and Kevin Durant, he wanted none of it, and he also clashed at times with Steve Kerr. So if he goes back to the Warriors, it's fascinating on so many levels. We know that KD as a player can certainly play right now and still has some really good years left, and the level of production over the last few years has been sensational, especially this past year. Nearly 30 points per game. Yes, he's 34 years old, but Kevin Durant, still one of the best players in the game, came off that torn Achilles, and then in 2020, 2021, after being with the Warriors for a few seasons, still averages 27 points per game. His last year in Golden State, 26 points per game in 78 games played. He looked to be in incredible shape. He barely missed any games, as you see right there. Then in the playoffs, started to break down a little bit, and then he popped his Achilles, which was really unfortunate. And if he doesn't pop the Achilles, another interesting part of this conversation, do the Warriors go back to back to back, and then KD never leaves Golden State? Because why would you after 3 consecutive championships with an opportunity to extend that streak? So we talked about KD. I want to hear from you because I value our subscribers, and I really appreciate all of you for joining the show and watching us every day. What made you become a Warriors fan? Was it Steph back in the day? Was it the We Believe Warriors? Your best Warriors memories? Just let me know in the comment section and have some fun with it. Think back into the time machine. Also, we continue to get some great pictures from our loyal subscribers. Back a couple weeks ago, I had said, send me pictures of you rocking Warriors gear. A couple of fans did, and we gave them shout-outs. And then we got a dog picture last week from K-Dog, and now Dory, the gold-blooded golden retriever, also sending in this picture. Beautiful dog right here, an even better jersey there with the Warriors threads. Dory, the gold-blooded golden retriever, rocking the Warriors jersey and supporting the golden era of the Golden State Warriors. Did I just break the record for saying golden so many times in 30 seconds? Maybe, but had to show some love to this beautiful pup. As always, thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe. We're coming for Sam Brown and the Lakers Report.